Today, I'm back with another physical media preview video for you all. We're going over the March preview, where I go over the hottest physical media titles coming out the entire month. I go Blu-ray by Blu-ray Tuesday, so you know the date of release, and I talk about the movies that give my recommendations there. And I have decided not to do the prices here in this video, because when you do a preview video, and these are pre-ordered so far in advance, the prices always adjust. So I don't think the prices are as valuable here as in with a deal or sale video, but let's get into the list of banger titles. But first, you love collecting physical media just like me and owning the movies you love, whether it's DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, Laserdisc, slipcovers, steelbooks, franchises, TV, whatever. You are in the right spot, my lucky friend. Go ahead and smash that like and subscribe. That way you're alerted when a new physical media preview video posts. And leave in the comments below, what are you excited for in March? But let's get into this. For the first Blu-ray Tuesday, we got March 4th, and we have Gladiator 2 on 4K Steelbook, Blu-ray, and digital, and then we also have the standard Slippy edition as well. Now, I like Gladiator 2 for it being a sequel made so far later than the original. I thought Pedro Pascal was really good in it, and of course Denzel Washington was fantastic, and there's some really fun moments in there as well, some really cool epic scenes. So not as great as the first one in terms of like heart and emotion, but still a fun action sword and sandal movie. Next up, we're going to have Red 1 on 4K and digital. And I actually really liked Red 1. Nobody saw this one, and the people that didn't really care for it for some reason. But it's a fun family film, and I think you can get a kick out of it around the holidays. You have a great cast in there with like J.K. Simmons and The Rock. I mean, come on, Ryan Reynolds. Just joking, not Ryan Reynolds, Chris Evans. Maybe that's what they needed, a little bit of Ryan Reynolds in there as well. Heck, why not? But Red 1, regardless, very fun fantasy holiday tale, some cool epic moments. So I enjoyed the mythology with that one. I thought that could have been a really interesting franchise, but I doubt we'll get a sequel because I don't think it made too much. But definitely going to add that one into the collection at the right price. Next up, speaking of one I want to add into the collection at the right price, we got Kraven the Hunter. We do have a 4K steelbook option here with the Blu-ray and digital, and I think actually, the cover looks pretty decent. Not an amazing steelbook design, but fine. But overall, Kraven the Hunter, I'm going to recommend this one if you're into comic book action movies. I think it's one of the better Sonyverse type of movies. I mean, not as great as some of the Venom movies, but I think it's way better than Madam Web and even Morbius. So I thought there was great acting talent in there with like Russell Crowe. I thought there were some brutal action moments too. It is hard R with blood and gore, and just a really fun time and very comics accurate if you like the Kraven the Hunter kind of lore. So overall, I did enjoy that one. I know people don't like it because it doesn't have Spider-Man, but once again, it's not a Spider-Man movie. It's Kraven the Hunter. Get over it. Next up, we're going to have Den of Thieves 2 Pantera on 4K digital here. I actually really liked this movie. I thought it was a great sequel if you're into kind of crime heist. Things go wrong, there's twists and turns. You're going to really like this one. This one is a fun time. You got Gerard Butler in there, and overall, it's really cool in the sequel. They go to some awesome locales. So, overall, if you're into those action kind of movies, you got to check out the Den of Thieves movies. All right, next Blu-ray Tuesday is going to be March 11th, and we got Thief from the Criterion Collection finally getting the 4K treatment. This has James Caan in it. Now, I don't know too much about the movie, but I heard great things, and I've been waiting on the 4K, so I'm ready to, pick this one up in a Barnes & Noble Criterion sale eventually. Next up, we got Daylight on 4K. This is a Kino Lorber release, and we got Stallone in this one. I have not seen this one either, but I heard it's a very underrated, like, disaster kind of film. So, Stallone action disaster? That sounds amazing. So I got to really check that one out. And I think that one really pop on screen in the 4K treatment. So very excited for that. Next up, we're going to have Trick or Treat on 4K. I don't know too much about this movie. I believe it's an 80s, like kind of heavy metal aesthetic type of movie, at least from the cover. That's what it kind of shines as. So yeah, maybe in the future if that got discounted, you guys let me know. What is Trick or Treat really about? Should I be picking it up based on my taste? All right, next up, we're going to have following Blu-ray Tuesday, March 18th, we got Godzilla vs. Biollante from the Criterion Collection 4K. Once again, I would consider this one in a Criterion sale because I love the cover. Epic design here. Basically got Godzilla fighting some plant hybrid monster, and it's just really cool looking. So maybe, just maybe, next up we're gonna have Deep Blue Sea on 4K, another shark movie, but I heard this one's actually pretty entertaining from an action standpoint. So this is another cover that I think looks really cool. This one's from Arrow. So if they did an Arrow, 50% off Barnes and Noble sale, ooh, I might have to pick that one up if I see it in stores. Next up, we're going to have The Penguin Season 1 on 4K. Happy to see these HBO Max shows getting at least a physical disc. Thank goodness. And The Penguin I actually did stream and watch on Max, and I thought it was actually pretty good. I'm usually not a fan of streaming shows. Usually they seem pretty generic, but that one actually felt a little bit more cinematic. And of course, you had a great cast in there. Colin Farrell as the Penguin, so unrecognizable. And then I totally forgot the actress's name, but she's really good in the show as well. So, yeah, I highly recommend checking out The Penguin. That's one I would maybe add into the collection physically. Next up, we got Moana 2 on 4K Blu-ray digital steelbook. If you want the 4K, you gotta get the steelbook. That's what Disney is doing now. So they're kind of playing us in a way. But actually, I think Moana 2 was a fun family movie. It was a worthy sequel. Are the songs as great as the first one? No, they're not really memorable. But the story plot is actually pretty cool. I like what they did with some of the characters. It has some fun moments. So yeah, Moana 2, definitely enjoyable enough, but probably don't need it in the collection right away for me. Next up, we got The Last of Us, the complete first season, going to a 4K steelbook now. It did already come out on a 4K disc before, but if you missed out on that one, you want to add the steelbook. I do actually like the steelbook design. It's very creepy, definitely with that monster on there. But yeah, The Last of Us, I saw that show. I thought it was pretty decent. Some episodes I liked more than others. I don't know if I really cared for the series finale or season finale there. But overall, it was a solid first season. Once again, a better streaming show than most. So, yeah, HBO is just often quality. That's what I love about HBO. Next up, we're going to have The Wolfman. You can get the 4K limited edition steelbook with the Blu ray, the digital, or you can go with the standard Slippy. Now, Wolfman, I saw in theaters, and I was a little disappointed with it. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. I thought it was going to be on the level as The Invisible Man, which I really, really love. That was really unique and different. This is unique, but it goes in some directions where I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should go back to the classic Wolfman. Like, I really want a cool Wolfman monster that looks like the Wolfman. But there are some scenes that are horrific and some scenes that are atmospheric, but it's very choppy. So there's some good ingredients in there. It just didn't come together at the end for me, unfortunately. Next up, we're going to have March 21st. And I have to mention this date because Hans Zimmer Live in Prague is mentioned here for a 4K. And I absolutely love Hans Zimmer music. One of the best composers of all time, maybe even my second favorite out there, next to John Williams. But he just has some amazing music listed here in this concert that he did, like the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, and just so much more. And I'm like, you know what? I've never bought on disc like a music concert, but because I love this music so much, this composer's fantastic. This is one I actually might pick up. It might be worth it because I could just plug it in. And even if I don't fully focus on it all the time, just listening to the music in the background while I'm doing something around the house, like how can you do better than that? So I love how they're giving that 4K treatment to something like that, a live orchestra concert by Hans Zimmer. Oh my gosh, that just sounds so cool as I say it. So that is one that I didn't know if I was initially going to think about, but as I think about it more, I really want to pick it up eventually. Next up, we're going to have March 25th here, Night of the Creeps to 4K. We know what Scream Factory does. They take all their Blu-rays, put them on 4Ks. That's what they've been doing the last few years. They don't want to work harder than they have to, apparently, which makes me disappointed in Scream Factory. You guys let me know if you've had issues with Scream Factory before. But at least I do not own the Blu-ray of this one. So kind of cool for me. I'll be able to pick up the 4K and watch the movie for the first time. I've heard really good things about it. So I'm all for that. So I guess it worked out for me. Next up, we're going to have Tommy Boy on 4K. You can do the Steelbook Blu-ray digital here. Or there's also the standard slipcover. Now, I already have this Steelbook because I picked up the Blu-ray edition of it way back when. and so I don't need to, buy this steelbook again just to get a 4K of it. Slipcover, maybe, but I don't love it that much. I mean, I like Tommy Boy. It's a good, solid comedy. Of course, Chris Farley in there and David Spade. So it's a fun comedy. If you don't have it at all in your collection, now maybe is a time to pick up one of these editions. Next up, we do have Black Sheep on 4K from Kino Lorber. I picked up the Blu-ray. This wasn't the movie for me. It was like a weaker version of Tommy Boy, in my opinion. I know some people really like it. Like if you love just everything Chris Farley, the SNL kind of humor, like you'll probably still enjoy that one well enough. But that one was a little bit more of a miss for me than Tommy Boy, unfortunately. But there we go. Those were the hottest, most popular titles that are coming out in the month of March. Now, I'm doing this video early, so there's other stuff that's going to get listed for pre-order and more prices will come up and different options like that. But I do think I covered the biggest hits right there. But if I did miss anything, you guys will let me know, I'm sure, in the comments below. But if you do decide to pre-order any of these titles or pick up anything through Amazon, definitely go through the affiliate links in the description below. Doesn't cost you anything extra, and it definitely gives me some credit to my channel so we can celebrate in March, of course. And then, once again, if you haven't already, mega smash that like and subscribe to bring good luck to the channel in the new year. Of course, leave in the comments below what titles are you picking up or have been picking up as of recent. What are you excited for in March too? And then, of course, have a great day watching and talking the movies. And of course, you love this physical media topic. Make the channel a little bit luckier by megaphoning some Mega Mike videos. And thank you so much, my Mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.